Inner Alchemy and the Resurrection Body by Gigi Young. Today, in modern spirituality, the emphasis tends to be on controlling oneself and environment. This apparent control of one's life or manifestations is seen as spiritual mastery. Spiritual knowledge and techniques are twisted to serve the purpose of self-aggrandizement, and one seems to seek spirituality not to truly transform oneself, but to gain a sense of control. Quote, how can I manifest this car? Quote, how can I get this person to like me? Quote, how can I manipulate the people and forces around me to get what I want so that I can feel good? On and on we go, trapped in the cycle of material delusion. While this is understandable, it is an impossible endeavor, as healing, knowledge, and power come only through the surrendering of the will and ultimately ego to Christ. Through the presence of Christ within you, healing comes, often in ways that you could not even think to ask. As spiritual beings, this is the reality of our existence. The mind can often not comprehend the problem, nor the true solution. Thus, through the presence of Christ within you, knowledge appears as though you have always known it. Your wondering and desire for it was merely a mark of your temporary separation from Him. Through surrendering to Christ within power also appears, in its truest form, love. All craving for worldly power stems from the craving for love. And thus it is only the presence of genuine love that can empower. This love already rests within your heart center. And here we see that we return to our true selves through Him, that somehow through this great being, our unique identity becomes known to us, that we know ourselves, heal ourselves, and transform ourselves through His force within ourselves. This is part of the mystery of Christ, the curious reality that we can only truly know ourselves through the surrendering of ourselves to Him. And here we finally begin to step off the wheel of samsara. Our higher bodies fill with everlasting life, and we transcend our ties to this material plane. The key here is to understand that inner alchemy and all true transformation in the material world occurs through entering into what arises with Christ acknowledged within the heart center. This means that we do not seek to muscle or override our current circumstances. Instead, we relax and enter deeply into them. We observe them, feel them, and allow them to speak with the light of Christ as our guide. Like Christ overcame death, through His presence within us, we can die many times and be reborn into yet higher and higher aspects of ourselves. Perhaps the biggest fear in regards to healing is that we are alone in it. Nothing could be further from the truth. Clarity and guidance also appears through this inner union with Christ. In this process, forces that need to be released begin to loosen under the spiritual presence of the Christ within us. Forces that need to be brought inward to build and heal also arise from within the Christ essence within us. Thus, we do not avoid pain, and we also do not try to overcome it or subjugate it. Instead, we step into the dark places, the wounds, the fear, and we transform it. All pain and trouble has a message for you, a meaning, and it will never truly heal until you understand it. And we cannot do this alone. Here, through this divine process, the most mundane acts in one's life become holy and full of miracles. The reaching for greater and greater distractions and stimulations also disappears. We have made the smallest actions divine. And as the mundane has now become holy, we naturally begin to build ourselves yet an even higher body to live, one that reaches beyond this material world, the resurrection body